What if we're living in a fantasy? Some world that I could only dream. New colors bursting out of every scene. A hidden land for you and me. Imagination is the only rule. Mystery, the only school. The flowers talk and trees can walk around. Sometimes our feet float off the ground. Are we living in a fantasy? Are we living in a fantasy? I think we're living in a fantasy.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm Mark.
I'm Amanda.
We're going to talk about just how expensive it is to visit Norway.
First, let's cheers to Norway with our Nordlands pills. We're at the end of our trip. Yes, make eye contact.
Eye contact.
This is our last night in Norway. We've had some ups and downs, but overall, it's been an incredible experience. Beautiful country.
One of the things we heard about predominantly before coming to Norway was just how expensive it is. But I think if you're from New York City, it's comparable. So what we've done, we're going to go through accommodations, what we've spent in the past few days, so that way, you'll have an idea. We do have some receipts. Our first stop was Oslo.
I would say the average price you're gonna find there is gonna be around $100 USD. I think I found around 80 was like the lowest, but that was further away from the central city. We were, I think, in the perfect location. Everything was walkable. Free breakfast, which was amazing. Mark was obsessed with it. Mark's getting to enjoy the Norwegian fish
They kill it.
breakfast.
Breakfast is so good.
Bergen. Airbnb. This was the cheapest area that we were able to find any accommodations. $26. Then there was an additional cleaning fee, which I can't remember. I think total it came out to like $35 USD.
5-minute walk from the bus station, pretty much right downtown. Private room with a shared bathroom.
No coffee, no breakfast.
Yeah, our last stop is here, Engenes, which is 4 hours south of Tromsø. And we found this amazing Airbnb. And Amanda found this amazing Airbnb.
I will go with you. Watch the ocean kiss the moon. Run away with me. Where the morning paints the sea.
So this is the priciest place we've stayed.
Definitely, hands down, priciest place.
And how much is this?
A little over 200 USD a night. But
I didn't know it was that much. That must be including the fees.
But it also sleeps up to 10 people. So if you had a big group, it would be easy and you could split up that cost.
Yeah. And one of the reasons that we decided to splurge a little bit is because we looked at Airbnbs and hotels in Tromsø. And the average price for a hotel there was about $150. So we're like, you know what? Let's spend an extra $50 and we'll have
our own
mansion,
space. Yes.
An outside jacuzzi, a fireplace.
And can I just say the jacuzzi, you can see the northern lights, which was really the one thing I wanted to do. And I just had it in my head that I wanted to sit out in the jacuzzi with the snow and the northern lights and just relax, because this is my vacation from work and I just wanted to chill.
Yeah, we were just tired also of the city. I mean, we live in New York City and we'd already spent the first 4 days of our trip in cities, so it was really nice to get out of the city and drive here. And now it is a bit of a haul, but for us, it's definitely worth it. Man, we have to do the math and see how much we spent on.
It's been I don't even want to do the math, honestly.
Let's get to transportation. Oslo to Bergen. We did an overnight train. did not do the sleeper car. We just stayed in the regular seats.
The sleeper, you get an actual bed, you get the curtains, and the train is dark, whereas our train was just like you're in an airplane. So you're sitting next to each other, you can't recline all the way, and you had noisy children yelling.
We paid about $200 total, so $100 per person.
We also waited until the day before to buy our ticket.
Getting from Bergen to Oslo, or from Bergen to Tromsø. We booked these kind of last minute, I think.
Yep, the same 2 days before.
This was a quick flight. In total, we were on the plane for about 3 hours. That is how much it cost us to fly.
Again, you could probably find things cheaper if you plan ahead.
So far, as you guys can probably tell, this was not exactly a budget trip for us, but we're getting to see a lot of Norway. Lastly, car rental. We rented from Eurocar. We picked it up from the airport the day we arrived. We had picked a mid-size car. Luckily, because they were all out, they upgraded us to the Audi A4 Ballin station wagon, which does very well in ditches. So how much was the car rental?
About $300 USD.
Which I think you're gonna want if you're gonna come here.
100%.
So, I mean, you can just walk around Tromsø, but if you want to get out and explore the fjords and really see all that, the nature and the scenic views and all that stuff and have a little bit of freedom, then car rental. Let's talk about food. So before we get to that, let's talk about going out to eat. I'm assuming a lot of you guys probably aren't necessarily going to be going to the grocery store, or maybe you will. It's a little bit cheaper. First night in Oslo, we went to Doggenville. It's comparable to something you would see in Brooklyn. It's a hip place. It's known for its burgers. That's what they do there. And we got a couple burgers, a couple beers. The burgers were about $15 each, which is expensive, but if you're in New York City,
you'll see the same thing.
that's what you're gonna spend on.
Yeah. Especially if you're going to a burger joint, they always up the price for their specialty burgers.
And then at the restaurant, the beers were about $8 or $9 for a pint. That's New York City price.
Totally. One of my first nights before Mark arrived, I tried ordering food out. When I looked on the app, the Foodora app, they only had Indian takeout options, and they were all like anywhere from $20 to $25 USD for just one serving. $25 for one. I was like, what? This is insane.
The difference is stuff's expensive in New York City. Stuff is expensive in Norway.
Is that all of Norway?
That's all of Norway. So it doesn't matter if you're in Oslo, Bergen, Tromsø, or the small little town of Engenes, where we are right now. Everything seems to be the same price throughout. Just think about coming to Norway as if you were going to New York City. That
without
seems to be
dollar pizza. Last night, since we were driving down to this Airbnb, we already knew there are not a lot of grocery stores around, so we wanted to stop off at a grocery store and pick up some items like our chips and our hot dogs. It got to the point where we were just like looking around to see, you know, how prices differed, and we noticed that there were prices that were similar to what our like local bodega would be. The prices are usually higher and marked up because it's very convenient. It's open 24 hours. So we were used to seeing the same prices for like bacon and cheese.
I think overall, everything looked pretty similar in price. We ended up spending 780 krona. So $78, they hit us, they got us. So we got 2 6-packs, 6-pack of Nordlands, 200 krona, $20. A 6-pack of Frydenland, 225 krona, so $22. So just between the beers, oh, that's expensive.
That is expensive. $40 for beer?
Yeah, you know what?
What?
It's because it's got such a high tax.
Oh.
This is where it was, because when we looked, the price tag had it a lot cheaper. No wonder we spent so much. They got us.
When we left the store, he was like, man, that seemed kind of expensive.
Yeah, and then I don't know what this is. It says pant. What is pant?
0%, but it's 12 kroner.
That's 12 krona, so that's an extra $1.
Maybe it's like the recycle fee that like they add on in the States.
And then I got another single beer, a ginger beer, Krabby's. I'm gonna open that up right now. Here's the beer I got. Krabby's Original. I'm a big fan of this ginger beer lately. I'm on a ginger beer kick. Let's try to figure this out here. So I think in tax, we paid 132 krona. So that's $13 in tax. So the things that were taxed at 25%. All 3 of the beers, and then what is Bare Pose? This is where they get you, is the taxes here in Norway. But they have free healthcare, they have free education. There's an upside to having those expensive taxes.
And just an FYI, if you purchase anything, any like one item that's over 300 kronen, you can get your money, you can get your tax money back at the airport.
Okay, now that dinner is done, it's dessert time. We're gonna try some of these Norwegian chocolates. This is actually like the third one of these that I've eaten.
He keeps buying them to do a video and then he ends up eating them.
Kivik lunch, pronounce that horribly. But it looks just like a Twix.
Kit Kat.
Oh, excuse me, yeah, exactly. Not a bite?
I want it because this is mine, actually.
I already ate my half of it.
I honestly feel like the chocolate is better than our US Kit Kats.
Next up, center. This looks like a, what are those ones called?
Rolos.
Yeah, see, it even is shaped like a Rolo.
I don't like that.
Okay, now this monstrous thing, this was like $5 or $6 because it's a king-size candy bar.
Crispo, this was the only option.
Everything here reminds me of the US candy bars. This reminds me of a Crunch.
I like Crunch bars.
Like the, now this consistency, it looks like it's got little Rice Krispies in there.
I don't like the smell of the chocolate.
Oh, I see. Well, it's called crisp versus crunch. Crispo.
Crispo. Smell it though. The chocolate smell there.
Oh, chocolate smells like a pet store. You know, you go into a pet store and it's got like
Yeah. Oh, you just ruined it.
bird food or dog food or inside.
It's not as bad as it smells though.
So yesterday, we went and did this. Yo! If you didn't see that video, click up here if you love dogs. And that was 1,300 krona per person.
Per person, yes. And that was actually cheap. But yeah, I think average you'll see is 200, but you have to book ahead of time because this is like prime season. Every place I was looking at, it was like booked out until March.
Okay, I think we oh, the fire went out. We need to stoke the fire. Okay, so I think we have kicked that horse.
Dead horse? What did you say?
Yeah, we've kicked whatever. We've talked about prices enough. We're just going to enjoy the rest of our night, what we have left of it here in this $200 Airbnb. Tomorrow we have a 4-hour drive back up to Tromsø. But we're going through beautiful Fjordland, so we're going to take you guys with us. So we'll see you guys
in the morning.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning from our Airbnb again.
Okay, we had to do one last spa jacuzzi session before we leave. It is freezing today. Today is the coldest day we've had by far. Oh, you have to get so far into the jacuzzi. Man, I'm really gonna miss this place.
This view is incredible.
So, oh yeah, I should let you guys look at the view behind us. Not me. Oh, and I'll get some jets. This corner over here is the jet corner. Woo! Yes, and if you want to get, this is where we were getting the barrage of Aurora Borealis Northern Lights last night. So awesome. Couple things. Houses here are either yellow or red or white. I don't know why. That's just like their thing. And at nighttime, they all put these lights in the windows. And that must be like a tradition because every house has it. It may have to do with something going back to like Vikings because they're in the water with their boats. So maybe their houses mark where land is. My ears and my hands.
My ears are freezing.
Are cold as AF. Okay. Ooh, let's not drop this camera.
I'ma live like I'm alive, like I'm alive, like there's no forever. Gonna ride to the other side of this earth if I wanna. We got this under chance, so little time to waste, so I won't let it pass me by. 'Cause for a moment I'm alive.
This drive has been incredible. We've made so many stops.
It's taken like 3 hours to go 1 hour.
Yeah, we've stopped to like fly the drone a few times. We've taken like just photos because the views are incredible, and I just can't help myself. And I know every time we go by like a mountain or something that looks kind of nice, I see Amanda over there. Her body is kind of like, don't stop. But I just can't help it. We are back in civilization. We've been out in the middle of like the countryside, and now we're back in like a little town. This is nice. One of the things we've noticed here is the amount of people that walk. It's 30 degrees out, and people just throw on their snowsuits. Everyone just has all their gear. It's like everyone's going skiing. But yeah, a lot of people just throw on their snowsuits, and they're just walking around, waving. It's a very friendly neighborhood. How are you?
I'm a dream when I'm awake. Yeah, no time for sleeping. See the magic I can make. Yeah, I can make. When my heart's still beating. Yeah, we got this sun to chase.
It finally stopped snowing, and we still have a couple hours before we have to get to the airport, so we thought we'd show you a little bit of Tromsø. This is one of the must-sees in Tromsø. It's called the Arctic Cathedral. It looks beautiful from the outside. And behind me, you will see the beautiful city of Tromsø. As you can see, there are little lights in the windows, as Mark was telling you about earlier.
I wish we had more time to explore, but we don't. We have to go home, and actually we're ready to go home.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Coco!
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you in the next video in New York City, probably.
Yes, we will be back in New York. Okay, see you later.